This is me, and this is SoulForge SMP, the biggest Bedrock content creator SMP. But there's a problem with it. It sucks. It is boring as frick, okay? There's like nothing special about it. It is just a bunch of people running around doing dumb stuff. There's nothing unique or interesting about it. The things that are marketed for its uniqueness, such as the mace effects, which allow you to use different maces, or the soul effect allowing you to wield netherite weapons in Sharp 5, or the forge effect allowing you to wear netherite armor, really aren't that unique. I've seen other servers that use very similar plugins, and I just can't help but feel like this server isn't really all that unique. But I'm here to change that. But first, a little background. The main reason why I am doing this is because, simply enough, Season 2 is really where all of these problems shined. It was the most mundane SMP season I have ever seen in my entire freaking life. And it was absolutely ruined by dupers. So, I am here to make sure that 3 things change here in Season 3. The first is duping. We need to stop it, obviously, and anywhere I find it, I need to counter it hard and fast, and make sure that the dupers get banned or punished severely. The second thing that I need to change, and in my opinion is far more important, we need a better plot line. We need things to get bigger. We need higher stakes. It can't just be, oh, everyone on this server has randomly decided to fight. I don't want it to be like, oh, whatever, we got defeated, we lost a couple gear sets. I want it to be like, if we don't win this battle, the entire server is going to be taken over by some chaotic, evil organization, and we have to stop it. We cannot lose. Stuff like that. More important stakes. Stuff that will affect players long term, that'll affect the server long term. Not random, meaningless, pointless battles. Not small traps. Not cool redstone machines that are used once and never matter again. Every action needs to have real consequences. That way, we won't just have people running around doing meaningless squabbling and empty, non-heartfelt speeches that mean nothing, that are just soulless. I want the server to have real action, to have heartfelt speeches, to really actually make a good story out of this. I want this SMP to stand out. I don't want us to remain some tiny, pathetic server. Maybe we are the biggest Bedrock content creator server, but I'll be honest, it doesn't feel like that. It feels like if it was really the biggest, it would be way bigger. And if this is the bar, if this is how low the bar is set, then I want to set the bar higher. And I don't want to set it a little bit higher. I want to set it way higher. I want to make this SMP the best SMP of all SMPs that are currently around. I don't want it to be just another SMP. So I'm going to act. I'm going to make sure that this season, Season 3, it's not going to be like Season 2. I will make sure that no matter what happens, no matter who wins or who loses, it will make for an epic tale. I want it to be almost impossible to fail as a content creator here. And I want it to be entertaining for viewers. That's the third goal. That is, above all, the most important goal here. It's not to increase... it's kind of important to increase our subs. But for me, it's to entertain you. You, the viewers. It is more important that you enjoy this, that you remember this. I want you to be happy with what we've created. I want you to enjoy watching these videos. That is what is important. That you enjoy this. So, I'm going to change this server. So I have the will, but now we have the actual problem. I have the will, but I don't know the way. While I can truthfully say that my position has improved significantly over the original position I held in Season 2, I still am in no position to change the entire server's course, which the course right now is to eventual oblivion. But to change the course of the entire server, I'm going to need an alliance that is much more skilled and much, much bigger than just me and a couple other members. As of now, we only have Ray as a proficient fighter, or seriously proficient fighter. I needed more people. However, thankfully, Ray had me covered, as he managed to successfully get in 2 new members to our team, Tanoka and Zequo. These are names you might be familiar with, or might not be. I shall tell you something about them. All you need to know is that they are cool, and they are actually proficient fighters, unlike me. This is a significant improvement, as now we can actually participate in battles without getting slaughtered. But I needed more. So Ray had pulled his strings. Now it was time for me to pull mine. So I managed to pull some strings, and I got the biggest, or maybe not the biggest, but the best team up, I think, possibly, that Soulforge has ever seen. Well, actually, probably not. But we managed to team up with the best team, or, I don't know, maybe not the best team, but whatever. Combined, we were easily the best alliance. I allied with Eclipse's team. Eclipse himself is a pretty proficient fighter, but besides that, they had the Breach Mace, which was in the hands of Colton, who is the server's best PvPer. I know that the tier list says that Taze is, but I'm going to be honest, it's wrong. Colton is better. King Colton is the best PvPer. And if he isn't, he is so close that it doesn't really matter, especially since he has the Breach Mace. With him on our side, we immediately had a huge advantage. Not to mention all the other great players that were on that team as well, such as Hollow 1K, who never logs on, or such as other people who I forget. Whatever. Those are their highlights. Those are the highlights. I know there are a couple others, and my brain is probably failing me with a couple others. But anyways, those are the main people on our team. Now, with this alliance, we could truly change the server. And this goes without talking about the other strings I can pull. I have 2 sort of unofficial alliances with Aiden's team and with Star MC's team. With our combined forces, we could easily overpower the entire rest of the server. And here is my plan. Here is why we need all these people. My plan is to enforce a new government. I want to put a republic at spawn. I want to make a Senate building, and I want us to start voting on things. You see, by bringing in our own politics, we will make the server more unique. I feel like if we bring them in here, I don't know, maybe it's a terrible idea. But what's really the good thing about this is that it breeds conflict. By attempting to place a government over other people, we are going to start wars. We're going to start conflicts. We're going to start drama. And that is good. It means that we are actually making things happen, which is awesome. This means that we can actually start a storyline. And this is a great place to start. This is the whole point. This is what we're doing. So this is where we are. This is our starting point of the real story of this episode. Now, obviously, I can't just monologue here to you all day. I mean, I could, but that wouldn't be a good video. And while sadly most of this, or maybe like half of this, is definitely going to be me monologuing in an inspirational way, I do actually have some stuff to talk about, or rather to show you. You see, the event we're going to be talking today about is the king election. This is an event that happens once every month, and where every member that is online and at spawn votes for a king. The quote-unquote king gains the king effect, which can be stacked with other effects, meaning you could have the mace effect, well, the breach mace effect, for instance, and the king effect as well. The king effect gives 4 additional hearts, and nothing else. I mean, you're technically the king. Now, obviously, my government doesn't give a crap about this. I'm completely gonna, not listen to this. But it would obviously be incredibly awful if we actually got the king effect. And while my plan was to go in and get elected, or at least run for the kingship, just to get an idea of how popular my idea was, and my ideological stances were, and such. And, I just wanted to, the king effect wasn't too important to me, but I wanted to get a feel for what was going on. But this is where things started to go astray. Ray decided to take things into his own hands. Knowing that there was no way on Earth that he would normally get the king effect, Ray decided to, instead of talking to people and gaining clout, he decided, you know what would be cool? If I made a rail cannon and threatened to spawn with it if people don't vote for me. That's a great idea, Ray. You should totally do that. No, what? This is a problem. You see, this goes against literally all of my morals. And on top of this was extremely dangerous. I had just made an alliance with the Potato Posses, which is Aspect's team, which has, well, it has both the owners on it, Aspect and Lava, who are some of the most influential players on the server. Having an alliance with them was crucial to my plans, as it would gain a massive amount of popularity, not to mention it had plenty of PvPers on the team, and lots of them were active. And this alliance would be highly beneficial. And even though I didn't agree with lots of Aspect's views, I wanted to make sure that my republic was really a republic and actually had rounded views and was more of an actually good government. But by Ray making this decision to directly target spawn and rig elections, it was putting me in an incredibly difficult position. On one hand, should I be loyal to my teammate and help him make this thing and help him gain the king effect? Or, on the other hand, do I stay true to my morals? Do I rat him out? Do I order him to stop? Or, do I betray him? Do I tell him to stop or rat out the location to Aspect? What was I going to do here? And after a bunch of thinking, I did nothing. I didn't do nothing. I actually helped him gather materials for it. Obviously, if I didn't, he would get suspicious. Probably. I don't know. I was paranoid, okay? But anyways, I helped him get the resources for it. And so, I did nothing to stop it. And after pondering sufficiently, simply thought, hey, if I kick him out or tell him to stop, he's not going to listen to me. If I kick him out, he's just going to go to Colton's team. And they're probably going to break off the alliance, and I will get completely cut off. Because Ray was the reason why Tanoka and Zico came. And if he leaves, he's probably going to get them to come with him. Essentially, if I get rid of Ray, the entire team collapses. I had my hands tied. And on top of that, I did not want to lose Ray. He is quite a fun individual to be around. And so after sufficient pondering, I decided that this was possibly the most logical course of action. For one thing, if we succeeded, one of my teammates would gain 4 hearts, making us even more powerful. And if I failed, well, the cannon would possibly flatten spawn, allowing me to terraform it more easily and build things much more easily when I came and took it over. So I decided, you know what, it's a win-win situation. And I decided, maybe I'll be able to, balance the potato posses, kind of keep them from going crazy, and maybe, just maybe, I could keep their alliance together. And so, the day came. Okay, so we have a problem. It appears that my footage from the King election day has been corrupted. This is extremely unfortunate, as it actually had some pretty cool fights and stuff that I actually did participate in for once. And it is truly tragic that I do not have this footage. And regrettably, I find that the reliability of other people sending me footage is rather, well, to be frank, unreliable quite often. And generally, their footage isn't, really that great. I don't know, it's just, I don't have the same mindset and stuff. And it is truly, truly sad that I do not actually have good footage. However, I suppose that I will make an exception and actually get some footage, because it would be practically criminal for me not to put in some footage from what happened. But first, obviously, I need to actually, give an introduction. Because, if I just put you in the middle of a fight, you aren't going to understand what the frick is going on. So let me tell you what's going on first, before we get into the fighting. Simply put, we showed up and our enemies showed up. And that is all it took. The event completely devolved into chaos. There was fighting literally everywhere. That's literally all that's literally all you need to hear. That's just the introduction. Let's actually roll the tape. Okay, so we just have one teensy tiny problem. The only footage of the event that I have... Actually, I don't have any footage of the event. You see, I did it... I participated in the event partially on my laptop and partially on my phone. The thing is, on the laptop, I was using this screen recorder, and I had automatically set it to basically remove any recordings once the file or area where it's stored got above a certain level of storage. And so yeah, that was one of the first recordings I made, and so it got automatically deleted. Then the parts where I participated on my phone, that footage is corrupted. Essentially, I have literally 0 King event footage. None. Nada. Zip. I literally have none. So, in search of getting more footage, I attempted to contact Tanoka, but Tanoka isn't a content creator, so he wasn't recording. Then I tried to get King Colton's POV, but turns out the only fighting he did was quick dropping 2 players earlier before the event, because he was busy with the orbital cannon. The other POVs I tried to get, I tried to get Zion's POV, not whatever I say. I tried to get Zion's POV, but turns out Zion himself is not able to give me his POV at the moment. And I tried to get Taze's POV. Can't get his either, because he could get it if he had it from the stream, but his streams automatically delete themselves after 2 weeks. It's been way more than 2 weeks since this happened. In short, none of them were able to give me footage other than King Colton, and King Colton wasn't there, so none of the stuff where I was there, and none of my sources, my potential sources, have been able to provide me with anything. So I've got 2 clips. The first one is of King Colton quick dropping 2 players, and the second one as of the orbital cannon actually landing its shot right in the middle of spawn. These are all in all pretty cool clips, but both of them are quite frankly underwhelming. But just for the sake of showing you them, I shall show you them here and now. Enjoy.
Are you at the cannon?
I'm like at the chords. I'm digging up on the. Wait, what are your chords? What are your chords? Nahi! Oh!
Colton had successfully managed to take out 2 of our opponents before the battle had even begun. Things were looking up for us. But, unfortunately, as we arrived, things really devolved into complete and utter chaos. Fighting was everywhere. Me and a couple others attempted to stab Stabs and take away his basic mace, allowing us to have all 3 maces. However, Stabs was able to hold out until his teammates arrived. Once his teammates arrived, everyone kinda on our team just decided to dip and leave. And so it just was me and Tanoka and maybe a couple others. But it just seemed like me and Tanoka. Everyone else was either not helping or I don't even know what was going on. But Tanoka started getting jumped by it looked like 5, maybe even like the entire enemy alliance was on him. And I was just watching. I was like wanting to help. He was like asking for help, and I was like, I want to help, but I know that if I help, I'm gonna get instantly killed, and it's probably not even gonna save him. So I just hung out, waiting for a good opportunity to jump in. Yeah, that opportunity didn't come. Instead, Stabs is like, ooh, look, it's a quick drop, and decided to start attacking me, and nearly one-tapped me with his basic mace. And I was like, oh crap, I did not know you could almost one-tap people with a basic mace. And so I got the frick out of there, and it wasn't too long after that that Tanoka got killed. Anyways, then I saw Arrow walking around. Actually, he wasn't walking around. He got jumped by Zion, a player who I think is actually ranked higher than him. And so I just noticed that Arrow was getting jumped with this guy, and I was like, you know what? Here's a fight I'm confident that me and Arrow can take together. So I started helping him, and together we were absolutely destroying this man. But then I started overcompensating and actually giving him more cover. And you know what? Arrow freaking dipped. Arrow dipped on me, man. By the way, Arrow's not on our team, but I mean, he kind of is. Ow, my head. I just spanked myself on the head. Anyways, Arrow dipped and left me with Zion, who, let's just say Zion is significantly better than me. And not even significant. He's, in a different league, okay? This guy 3-0'd me when I was tryharding. Well, maybe not quite tryharding, but I was actually trying, and he still 3-0'd me on the practice round. So as soon as he left, it was 5 seconds, maybe 10 after he left, that I started getting absolutely comboed and destroyed by this guy. And, maybe I could have escaped. Maybe I could have fought back. And maybe if he was drained enough, I could have even beaten him if I got really lucky. But you know what? I did not get really lucky. Instead, what I got was Taze jumping me. So, no big deal. It's just a guy who is capable of 3-0ing me while I'm trying. And, only the second best PvPer. Well, not really. Actually, he's ranked the 4th best. But, still, an S tier and a guy who's good enough to might as well be an S tier against me. I'm getting 2v1'd. I literally dropped in 5 seconds after that. And despite our best efforts, the election did not go our way. Unfortunately, Ray was not. He was not elected. So, you know what? We decided. Well, actually, no, we did not decide. They decided, the rest of our team pretty much. The rest of my team pretty much decided, you know what? Fine, we're gonna blow up Spawn. And so they fired the orbital cannon, and that's where my second clip is. Well, it's not my clip, actually. This is Aspect's clip. Props to him for, posting that. Very helpful. Anyways, here it is.
Zico aspect.
Yes. Oh, yeah, wait.
Can you shoot him off the bill?
I don't
Okay,
have a
this
bow.
sounds like
Oh, it just happened. I just watched it happen. Oh my gosh.
yeah, nah. I just saw that.
Oh, okay. Spawn is
That was very small.
okay. It wasn't
That
it wasn't actually
small.
that bad.
Could you get a clip on that?
I was recording.
Like incredibly small, bro.
Did it just instantly spawn in?
So yeah, I think it's safe to say the orbital cannon did like nothing to spawn. Like wow, it like took a tiny chunk out of spawn. Do you know how much preparing that took to make? I thought that this was gonna level the entirety of spawn. But like you look at the explosion, that's like big enough to destroy like a section of spawn. Like, you know what? If you're gonna level spawn, you're gonna need like what? 10, 20, 30 of those? 30 freaking orbital cannons to destroy spawn is insane. Like, this is actually pretty good, I guess, but like, what? So yeah, safe to say it was underwhelming at the like to say the least. I'm kind of disappointed. So yeah, that literally like this is our first defeat. Like I've just like become leader of the strongest alliance, and yet somehow we've ended up losing our first battle, which is kind of crazy. But what was worse to me is that we completely lost any chance of allying with potato posses. Our potential alliance with the Spectrum, gone, down the drain, obliterated. Like that alliance got blown, like the chances that alliance got blown into the freaking stratosphere. It's gone. No getting it back. Well, yeah, not really. Like, there's literally, like, no way that I can... I don't think that there's any way that that a Spectrum will ever really trust me to, really rule spawn and all that stuff with what, has transpired on this day. Which is kind of a tragedy, because I wanted to have a more rounded group in our republic. I wanted to add him in simply because he has more... his team has influence. And, you know, I think it would help keep our government in power and also keep it more, like, I don't know, more well-rounded, you know, like, less one-sided in our Minecraft politics and stuff. But, alas, it appears that that was not meant to be. Anyways, but that wasn't the only thing. It just bothered me intensely that I had just allowed this to happen. Like... yes, it's amazing. Like, we have the strongest team. We got, like, all these items and stuff. Like, we got 2 maces. That's awesome. You know, we got some of the best players on the SMP in our team. But as you can see, today, with a lack of coordination, we can still lose. And that's what we did. We lost. I might have been, like... well, me and Tanoka might have been the only deaths that I can remember. But we still lost. Like... this is humiliating. Like, I'm disappointed. I am so disappointed. And then, this is like not even the only thing. Like, I don't know if I can regain the server's trust. This is just like, this is like the Empire Strikes Back sort of thing. Like, where like the heroes or the antagonists, they get like a huge setback. This is the huge setback, okay? This event was humiliating on all fronts. It's bad. We lost. We didn't get the king effect. The orbital strike cannon did nothing. We just, like, lost a whole bunch of influence, all for literally nothing. Not to mention that I contradicted my own morals by not stopping this. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I was a little bit mad at Ray because of this plan. No, obviously it's Minecraft and stuff, but I'm trying to play the more political game. I'm trying to play for power. Because, you know, I gotta take as much power as I can get. I gotta be smart about this until I actually have my government in place. So it is, like, incredibly difficult to do that. But you know what? I'm persistent. I will continue. this is just a setback. And anyways, that's all I have to say for now. I kind of hate that this video, which was supposed to be an awesome compendium of action, quite literally turned into like the most boring yapping video ever. Like, this is a terrible start to chapter 2. Thankfully, though, I turned off that setting, and I don't. None of the rest of my footage is corrupted, so I do have footage for the rest of the episodes. But it's truly a saddening loss to see this episode go this way. But you know what? You gotta carry on. Anyways, if you did enjoy this video, enjoy it. I don't know how you could do that, but if you did enjoy it, then please do subscribe. I'm trying to get to 100 subs, and if you helped me, that would be extremely appreciated. And, you know, if you liked the video, that would also be very appreciated. And if you shared the video, then that would also be appreciated. You get the idea. You know, publicity, that sort of thing, that would be appreciated. Anyways, I hope you did enjoy this video, and I hope you'll enjoy the follow-up videos more. Thankfully, this is, you know, just part 1 of this whole chapter. So, like, all the other stuff, like, I got the footage for the other next 3 episodes. I've just got to do the editing. So I should be releasing those over a relatively short period of time. So, yeah, this is just the, you know, the beginning. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Later, nerds.